Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look at XRP, double checking some important stuff. We did sweep this upper liquidation range, so we can remove that. There's likely going to be a new range that we're going to discuss here shortly with the liquidation. I will get that pulled up as well. And we're going to look at this descending trend too and see if we are actually breaking bullish or if it's just kind of a false positive. A lot of times you can kind of see those things happen when you look at the trend lines and moving averages on a bit larger time frames. So we'll take a look at that as well. So I want to say thank you first of all for being an amazing part of my life. Deeply appreciate it. Thank you for always hitting that like button, commenting below, and just obviously just the wonderful feedback. I've been getting some good praise here recently on XRP. I'll be continuing to cover this as often as possible, at very least every other day. Make sure we keep this as a regular in the rotation. So let's take a look at the back-end data here first and kind of go from there. Take a quick peek here. We can see 225, 226, that lower liquidation range, but pretty large positions here. In fact, some pretty big ones. There's 100 million right at 237. We can also see 240 to 242. So we probably should, kind of recognize that the likelihood of further upside makes sense at this point based on the premise that I feel Bitcoin is going to be going higher. If you didn't catch my Bitcoin video from today, nice little bullish flag type of breakout with smaller time frame confirmations and a significant amount of liquidation at the 85 to 87K range. So I think there's a distinct probability we're going to see further upside from Bitcoin, and a lot of altcoins are going to respond well to that. Good news is XRP retested its local high as a new low. So we could see this previous high of like 230 coming back down to hold as that level and coming back up. You could call that a swing pattern, swing trade pattern, fake out. I forget the specific term, but basically when you retest a previous high to a new low, that's the concept that usually exudes positivity. That's usually where you want to have your next position consideration. So anyways, just kind of some food for thought there. Either way, let's focus here on this. The liquidation delta is bullish, okay? Really basically implying that you don't want to short right now because most people are taking longs. You don't short against the trend. So it's kind of a good sign there if you think about it. We can also see liquidation delta. This is open interest. Open interest is 223 to 211. Or those are the two heavy concentrations. That's where people are heaviest the most in this coin. So if the price does come back down to those levels, we'll see a potential for bounce at those levels. Kind of reinforces support. A lot of times those exude similar patterns, similar behaviors for local lows, but also points of control. We can kind of see here our local point of control is 235, 233, right in that range. We're above that, basically implying further upside makes sense. Now, you want to recognize we don't just take a long because of that, but that does factor in and kind of give us some confidence that we're in good shape. Speaking of good shape on the weekly here too, we can also recognize that we did close above the lowest point that we've seen since December. In other words, we've never truly closed below this level here of $2.07, 208 if you round up a little bit. Basically just telling us, hey, we're in really good shape there. Our weekly closure was bullish, much more than majority of other altcoins. A lot of altcoins I looked at today have a red doji candle instead of a green doji candle. The green doji candle just gives us a little more confidence, letting us know that we closed higher than we opened for last week, and that generally implies that bulls are in control in the last 7 days of trading. So further upside would make sense based on that premise there. But don't get it twisted here. It's not sunshine and rainbows. While we're over 50 in the RSI, this is very positive. We're still below that moving average. Our MACD is diverging. We could see further downside. So don't get too in your head that we've broken bullish. But the general consensus here is that when we see this descending type of trend running concurrent with a 20-day SMA, let me go ahead and clarify this here so you can see. This is an important factor, okay? Now try to avoid this here. This is a fundamental catalyst. A lot of times you see those kind of screw up the charts there. But the simple way to understand it is we are below this descending trend line here, right at it rather, kind of right at or above. That is a positive sign for the moment. We haven't closed today's candle yet, so don't get too excited, but generally speaking, closing above 235 would be positive, preferably over 240, because if we kind of zoom out here, if I'm not mistaken, that is roughly our local point of control. Let's see. So 240, 240 even. So we're under that resistance, so haven't broken bullish yet. I would say if we continue to, come up and kind of spend a little time in the 240 range, that'd be an excellent consideration for a long. We'd confirm the descending trend break free, or that we've broken free from it. We'd also confirm that we bullishly backtested the local point of control, which is essentially The most amount of positions people have open right now is at 240 since December. So that's a good sign. We're really close to that. We're getting close to breaking free here on the daily RSI too. Not a lot of coins can say this right now. They're a lot lower. They're in like the 20 to 30 range. Suffice to say, at this point, we're looking pretty good. That's a very positive sign. That's trend reversal material, and the MACD is converging too. So there's a lot of reasons why XRP should break out and continue higher, and a lot of reasons why I feel like it's going to happen because Bitcoin is exuding some positive behavior and likely to sweep its 85 to 86K range. If that happens, I think 250, 260 makes sense for this coin. 4-hour time frame, we're above the important moving averages, still below the 200 though, so keep this in mind. This local resistance at 243, i.e. 240, that's that macro point of control, is going to work adversely. In other words, we saw that happen once, likely to get hit again. As a decent chance we'll see a rejection off that level. Okay, so that's a decent chance. If we do see a lot of volume flowing into this coin, then we'll break through and that won't be a big deal. But between now and then, we want to presume the 243 range is going to be a resistance. So I'll just go ahead and put this here, kind of give us some perspective to pay attention to that. Now, when it comes to RSI, MACD, these are all very, very positive signs. Everything I see here right now is something I look for in taking a long position. The same thing as well if we're above the cloud, which I'm curious about this, I think we're getting close. The lagging span's free and clear, conversion lines over the baseline. And the actual cloud itself is above the price, but still within. So there's a decent chance we're going to see the price action continue further up here. And what I mean by that is if we look at this local high here, first of all, of 235, there's a decent chance we see the price come back down and continue off here, right? Because we're within the cloud, closer to the upper lead. That doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but what means a lot is everything else we've seen here so far is all bullish behavioral type of trends that we're seeing. Okay, and the hourly is breaking bullish, it's just not quite there yet. So hypothetically, the price pulls back to 235, that would be a very solid consideration for a long. Once more, it's common to retest a local high as a new low before taking off, which is what we're seeing there. So what I'll do is I'll post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, kind of just give you some perspective on where I think this coin's going to go next. It'll be available for you there, and we'll take a look at it together. So if you are new to the channel, thanks again for being just, for hitting the like button, and I guess for the starters. But if you continue to learn something, that'd be great too. And you do that by just engaging in understanding kind of where we're at here. We have an awesome trading academy community, signals group over here, and it's just been a really amazing experience. So thanks again for being just a cool part of my life. Appreciate you. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again so much for your time. Take care.